What's up, Drew?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I know. Did you happen to write the cold open for today?
No, I thought you were.
No. I didn't.
No.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Pass and Punch podcast. This is the third episode. Today is quite the big episode. We've had a lot going on the last week. A lot of sporting events, a lot of news came out. Today's main focus, we're going to get into the 285 card and just how electric that was. We're going to get into some NFL free agency news and everything along the damn sun. It's going to be a great night, and I'm so excited to join it with you guys and give you guys, break it down for you guys. Without further ado, I turn it to my co-host here, Drew. Drew, how you been, man?
Hey, what's going on, Chase? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I've been thinking about that card. We shared some mixed emotions over some FaceTime and some calls we've done. Work's been rough, so it's nice to sit down, relax, and get to talk to the camera for a little bit.
We're getting them long days in.
Yeah, you working overtime and everything, man.
Yeah, long days.
Yeah.
But hey, overtime it looks nice in the check, and Abby's deployed right now, actually. So
yeah, and that's always tough.
Takes up a good bit of my time. So
yeah, listen, shout out to anyone who has a family member in the military and is going cross seas for deployment. Yes. Shout out and much love to you and your family.
Salute to service.
Definitely, look at that. He's repping it.
And go Birds.
He's freaking repping it. That's just. It's definitely tough. And you have a friend and your wife is in the military.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my best friend.
Definitely. I've had some family members over time.
He's my brother, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it gets crazy. But hey, at least we got something like this to get our mind off things and really relax.
It's nice to have sports to look forward to and to cheer with and get emotionally invested in and stuff.
Definitely. And you know what else is cool is that Abby actually watches these and enjoys it. Yeah. So that little connection's still there.
Yeah, she's liking them. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
She's probably she critiquing you at all? Critiquing us at all?
A little bit. I'm asking for it though. I want her to.
Yeah, go easy.
I could take it.
Go easy on us, okay?
Go easy on him. He's a little bit soft.
Yeah, listen, I had a lot of planning before this. I'm a little bit nervous. Without further ado, Drew, Bo Nickel.
Bo frickin' Nickel.
The first event on 285 main card. Actually, there was some pretty good prelims. Most notably that I want to go over real quick was the Derek Brunson versus D. Duplessis, who's now ranked 9th in his division, which is pretty interesting. That was a weird fight. It was like those two tired out within the first 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest here. I don't really know if I believe in Dracus Duplessis as much as high as his rank is. His last couple fights to me, I mean, he fought Darren Till. And he won, but Darren Till was coming off of a layoff and some losses, and it was a weird fight. I don't know. Well,
because he just broke into the top 10 too.
Right.
I'm not sure if he was just breaking in before or right in before, but I know definitely he's in the top 10 now.
Yeah, I want to see him fight someone, not like someone who's established and is ready to compete for a championship.
His phenomenal his striking that he was so known for, his striking didn't come across to me as something he can compete with those guys in the top 10 contenders, top 5 contenders.
No.
His striking wasn't very good. His
didn't
chin
look
didn't
as clean. I don't know how to describe it. It almost looked like it didn't flow. No. Nothing was. I don't know. He just looked It looked uncomfortable. He looked a little awkward out there. I mean, I know he's got an unorthodox style and that he's had some success with it, but I'm kind of interested to see how he's gonna do against better opponents.
Yeah. Derek Brunson, he's on the he's 39, 40 years old.
Right.
And honestly, although age, I don't like to always say age dictates fights or whatnot, but it was clear that his age was causing a little bit of an issue for him. His cardio, I mean, they ended up throwing in the towel. How many fights do you watch where a UFC corner throws in a towel,
Right. I think honestly that was one of the first ones I've seen live.
His cardio, he at the end of the
that was how do I say, I think it's a hard position, but his corner really did take responsibility for him, and because the fighter should always most of the time will want to keep going no matter what, and I feel like the corner did a good job of protecting him from himself, and I don't know, almost give him credit for throwing the towel.
Yeah,
that's a hard thing to do,
especially
and it needed to be done.
Yeah, throw the damn towel. Throw the damn towel. Rocky IV reference right there for you guys. Yeah, but he, I don't know. Derek Brunson, he again didn't look too good. He was his cardio was definitely not up to par, unfortunately. But yeah, like you said, I'm either of those guys. I'm not very confident in right now.
No,
you know.
I mean, Brunson's kind of on the back end of his career, and it was a little bit of a where are you at kind of fight for Duplessis, and it's to me it just opened up more questions, honestly, than it answered. So I'm interested to see his next fight.
Let's get positive into another fighter that we have taken a little bit of a love to.
Oh yeah, local guy,
Mr. Ian.
Oh, I thought we were going to Bo.
But no, I'm gonna go one more prelim, and I was impressed with him, and the reason I want to transition to him because I got to watch Ariel's podcast, and they actually got a hold of Ian Gary and were able to talk to him and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
and I gotta say, I like the kid a lot. He doesn't have the same McGregor attitude he was brought up on, but he still has that I'm confident and I'll beat your ass attitude. I enjoy him. I enjoyed watching him. He did get rocked. And if you guys didn't watch the fight, Ian Gare went out and fought. I want to say his name was Young So. What a dude. I'll put the fight up here for you guys. That was the first time I watched either of them fight. I got to learn a little bit more about Ian Gary. It's cool to learn about prospects growing up, by the way. I love to see prospects climb through, but he's one of two active Irish fighters. And
Dublin.
I'm 75% Irish, so that's my man right there. But he ended up getting the stoppage win. He did get rocked, and he was so humble about it. He was so, I made the mistake, I knew it was wrong, but I still did it. And it's good to see a fighter make a mistake and then look to grow off of that.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen to get caught in a fight, and he got caught. And to me, it's more impressive for the way that he responded, because there was still a little bit of time left in that round when he got caught, and he was able to get back to his feet and kind of kept his composure, and he kind of got back to the dominant way the fight was going. It was a really good performance for him, and he got tested. Yeah, and he's exciting, man. He really is. He's got he doesn't have that like shit talking that Conor has, but you don't need that. He has that attitude that Conor has in the cage.
Yes, which I love.
That's where the confidence comes out, and he gets flowing, and he's a nice counter puncher. He's exciting to watch.
He showed some resemblance with some of his straight lefts.
He did.
It was nice to see that.
Yeah,
it was nice to see that. Yeah, but let's transition to our local boy, Bo Nickel, and I want to, before we get into the details of the fight and whatnot, Jamie Pickett's management team did try to get this fight turned into a no contest. When he pinned him against the cage, and before he initiated that takedown, ultimately leading to the choke win, there was a knee thrown to the groin thigh section of Jamie Pickett. And from what you can see from the angle, it did look in the region of his nether region, right? But from what Bonica was saying, that again, and I don't think it was intentional, and we don't know what actually happened, but the reaction from Jamie Pickett did kind of tell me and tell other people that maybe that was a little bit of a low shot.
Obviously incidental.
Obviously. And
yeah, I mean, I do think that argument does have a little bit of weight to it. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't change the fight though. Mm-mm. I mean, that fight, he took it to the ground and did honestly, he did what you expected. What I expected,
what he expected. I mean, he's coming in here as a 4-time national championship winner at wrestling in Penn State, right? This kid knows how to wrestle. He's working on his striking, clearly. He comes out, He throws that high kick and lands on his ass. That was, he even said it was a little bit embarrassing because it was kind of calm down, like let the pace set.
Settle.
But regardless, he did what we thought he was going to do. He initiated like 2 takedowns that were a little bit unsuccessful, and then once he was able to get in a dominant position, he used his knees, used his elbows to get in a prominent position to then take him down. Once it was on the ground, Bo Nickel was able to use his aggressive style wrestling, his
weight,
and he was able, just his skill and experience with wrestling, and get the submission. There was no way, even if there was a stoppage from the groin shot, you think the outcome would have changed maybe by a few minutes.
Right.
Jamie Pickett clearly isn't up to his level.
Just like everybody expected, when it got to the ground, he was clearly outmatched.
And nonetheless, I mean, Bo was able to submit a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that quick, it's definitely a eye-opener to the rest of that division. It's definitely this guy means for real business.
Oh yeah, he's coming.
I do kind of want them to pace Bo a little bit more though. Because it's clear once you get a guy who can defend a takedown, like his striking hasn't been tested yet.
Right.
He's fighting the Contender Series guys, which compared to Bo's experience, like they're really nothing to him. Like he's obviously gonna wipe the people in the Contenders.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't rush him and they take their time and let him come up slowly and kind of progress as he needs to, because he does have a lot of growing he needs to do before he's fighting some of the top level guys.
He's like 27. He's young. He's 4-0 in his mixed martial arts career. He'll probably go fight somebody maybe top 15 next or so. He'll get a good fight, and hopefully it's kind of soon because I kind of want to watch him fight. But in the upcoming camps,
he didn't take too much damage.
No, not at all. In the upcoming fights, I do hope to see him soon, and I would think his camp are all going to be directed towards striking, because how much does he?
Right.
He can go to like Dagestan with Khabib and the guys and probably compete well. I mean, the guy knows how to wrestle.
Oh yeah,
and that will probably take, and going forward, that will propel him above a lot of guys. Once he gets to guys like Chimaev, people with the Chimaev kind of wrestling style and the striking style, he'll then oppose because he has people who can wrestle up to his level, but then strike more than where he's at now. Because his striking ability clearly is kind of rookie, like Gon's grappling. But yeah, regardless, we all had picked Bo winning.
I mean, nonetheless, he did get a great win on the first fight of the main card in a pay-per-view. It was a great moment for Bo Nickal still.
Which is it's awesome. I was so happy to see it.
It was awesome.
And then next was that the Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. Sorry, I can't pronounce his first name. I don't want to butcher it. I'll put up a screenshot.
I think Matus
Gamrot. He took that off of 2 weeks' notice as well. And taking that fight off of 2 weeks' notice against a guy who's 6'3", 185 pounds, and I mean just lengthy, long arms, like 77-inch reach. This guy, Jalen Turner, is a problem. He was finessely knocking people out before this. So, the matchup, having somebody who's a submission artist like Jalen Turner go against aggressive wrestler for Gamrot, I knew we were in for a good fight. And it turned out to be a really good fight.
It did.
It turned out to be a really, really good fight.
Yeah, and then it ended up going the distance.
It did, and Gamrot got the win.
Yeah, did he? Isn't that exactly what I said?
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he did say that.
So, yeah.
But I mean,
he did exactly what he had to. Like, he did what everybody knew he had to do to win that fight.
Yeah, wrestle. He needed aggressive takedowns.
He needed to make it a dog fight. He needed to go for the takedowns and try to wear on Jalen Turner, keep him working. And he did, and he was able to get the decision. Turner's
only 27 years old, and he's already, ranked in that division. Like, he's an upcoming fighter.
Right.
I think Jalen Turner is still going to be on top of his game. I think he's going to learn a lot from this. He's going to get better with his wrestling a game. Because I got to say, Gamrot's wrestling was somewhat neutralized a lot throughout the fight, right? The aggressive style he had, Turner looked pretty good on it. Gamrot was just able to capitalize on some of his takedowns and get the ground and pound was huge for him, right?
He was able to do some work from the ground.
Yeah, which is kind of where Turner is a little down, you know what I mean? But Turner landed a lot of good shots, striking. Like, it was Turner forced the game to go. Like, Turner did a well job at forcing Gamrot to take it to the ground. Like, even though Gamrot was he's such an aggressive wrestler. He's always going to try to grab an ankle, always trying to bring you down. But Jalen Turner, it was both a good fight, and I think Jalen Turner showed a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did get to do a lot of what I think he wanted to do out there. He just didn't get to finish this time. I mean, that happens. He very well easily could have caught him. These fights are dynamic.
I was saying for Gamrot and how he looked a little bit awry, a little bit off his game wrestling wise. He did take it off of 2 weeks notice, like I said, and had to do a weight cut. So weight cut 2 weeks. You can't expect him to be at his full 100% go ahead kind of wrestling style. Right. He's definitely going to show being a little bit tired, a little bit stressed out from all that weight cutting.
Yeah, you got to think that's going to affect him somehow. I mean, you can't think he's just going to go in exactly the same.
Yeah, but it was nice seeing the fight go. The distance. Turner showed that he can stand and bang with some of the best fighters in the division. I think both of them are going to make really heavy pushes into the top 5, and eventually.
Yeah, I think both of their stocks go up after that fight.
That's what I was actually going to say. And I think both of them. I don't know. Both of those fighters eventually seem like they could turn out for a title shot one day.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, they still got fights to make, but
yes,
they could compete.
Turner is just like being 6'3" at that weight and having a 77-inch reach. Like that's dangerous, man.
And he uses it well.
And the biggest thing was keeping the distance for Gamrot, and he did neutralize his wrestling and keep the distance a lot. When you have such an aggressive wrestler like Gamrot, it's hard to keep the distance closed all the time. And that's where the distance is cut down, that's where you rely on your aggressive submission game that Jalen Turner has showed. Right. Fortunately, Gamrot,
even from his back, he's a threat to submit.
Unfortunately,
almost especially, honestly, with that guillotine.
Yeah, that guillotine, he's good with that.
Yeah, sick.
I think a lot of fighters can go with the guillotine.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's coming really, really common.
It's a slick little.
Yeah, I mean it's good for the aggressive wrestler guys, you know. But I don't know. I liked both the fighters. I don't know. I actually, after that fight, if I'm going long term, who I see having more success long term, I'm a big Jalen Turner fan. I like Jalen Turner. He's younger. I think he's going to end up being more coachable. But, I mean, I think both of them could push in the top 5 one day.
Yeah, I think so, too. Mm-hmm. I think they both have a high ceiling. It's gonna be cool to see how far they go.
Definitely. And, going next, we had a fight that me and you put a bet on. Neither of them hit.
No.
Neither of them hit.
I was more right.
You were more right, yeah. But, I mean...
So, do I get, like, a shorty or something?
Yeah. Let me say this before I preface it. It ended up being fight of the night. Shavkat versus Jeff Neal. Hands of Steel. So Jeff ended up not making weight. And what he told the media was that he was very, very sick. And he's like, if you guys saw what I was going through, you would understand. And I believe Jeff, because Jeff's had a lot of health concerns last few years and last few months. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Usually, when you miss weight and you get fight of the night, there's a $50,000 bonus that goes into both fighters' accounts, right?
Right.
Usually, when they don't make weight, gets fight of the night, that other 50 grand goes with, so all 100 grand would go into the winner. Dana actually credited and gave both of them $50,000.
Right.
Or we don't know. Obviously, Shavkat may have got 100,000 as well, but still, like
Jeff Neal still got his bonus.
I think they realized that Jeff Neal has been struggling with a lot of his health.
And I mean, it's really not like him.
No.
Is that the first time he's missed weight?
From what I understand, yeah.
Yeah,
I was listening to the podcast earlier. Yeah, from what I understand. But, I mean, let's get into the fight.
Oh
again, this is another fight. Stock up both fighters, man.
Oh,
they both performed awesome.
Yeah, that deserved to be fight of the night.
I actually ended up liking Jeff, his performance, more than I like Shavkat's.
Really?
Only reason is Shavkat looked like he was like 400 pounds, couldn't move right. Like the guy was so hittable, and for someone like Hands of Steel Neal,
right?
You can't have openings like that for a right hook, a jab, a straight. Like Shavkat got rocked a few times, and this was the first time we really got to see some adversary thrown at Shavkat.
Yeah, I mean, right. Like on the same hand, you could also say that Shavkat, one, he has a chin.
Oh, he was smiling. He was smiling at the.
And he was able to fight through adversity and still ended up getting the finish,
choking him. Yeah. Shavkat is definitely propelling up now. After this fight, there's rumors of him getting the top. Like they want him in the top 5. They want him to get a title shot very soon.
There's a lot of fun fights you can make with him.
But if I'm being honest, I don't know, man. Shavkat's wrestling was like completely neutralized in the fight.
Yeah, that was one of the most surprising takeaways.
Because that's what
I thought that was going to be his biggest advantage. I thought was going to be in the wrestling, and it wasn't.
Well, round one coming in, I had the interpretation that Shavkat's going to strike with him. Shavkat wants to figure his opponent out. Come round 2 and 3, he's going to bring that wrestling in there. Although he tried, he just wasn't very effective.
Right.
And
that's a credit to Jeff Neal.
Very big credit. Honestly, I think I'm saying, like, I don't want to discredit Neal at all because Neal had a phenomenal performance. I mean, both of them did. But Shavkat, if you're going to want to stand and bang with those top guys in your division, right?
Right.
You're going to have to be able to get that wrestling game going.
Yeah,
you're going to have to
turn it on.
I mean, again, he did his, he submits a lot of guys, and he stayed true to that. And he ended up getting the submission win.
Yeah, so he still has a finish for every single fight, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like 17-0 all stoppages. Yeah, the guy's definitely a beast. Hands of Steel Neal, I loved his performance. He was so accurate with his strikes. He was so smart with his placement. In the end, I just don't.
He was tough.
Mm-hmm.
His strikes were effective. Honestly, going into this fight, Shavkat was the one with more to lose. Like, he was the up and coming star. He looked unbeatable. He didn't look human. I mean, nobody really even gave him trouble.
No.
And Hands of Steel, everybody was kind of counting him out a little bit almost. I felt like.
Almost.
And he had a lot to prove. He came in and he proved that Shavkat, who a lot of people that did not want to take this fight, is a human.
Yes. Yeah, and that's like a lot of fighters when they get that, like, when they get that surprising, like, he is human. Like Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor won when he, ended up beating, like, he's human, guys. He can lose. He can be punched.
He can be hurt.
Yeah, and Hands of Steel Neal, I think in the end, it was just, who got tired first? I don't know. I think who just ended up in the third round, like, when the third round comes, in a fight like that, when it's like the 9th, the 10th rank, or 7th, and whatever, two very high-ranked fighters in their division, right?
With a lot.
And when that third round comes, like, you guys are just going to stand and bang. And unfortunately, the guy who's a little bit younger in the situation, who may have had a little bit better cardio, could outlast you and your relentlessness, and you couldn't outlast his relentlessness. Because in the end, he got the choke. He had a few good strikes leading into the choke. So in the end, Shavkat did get the win. And I believe that maybe one day
that was a great fucking fight, though.
It was so entertaining.
Both fighters put on a great. Neither one should be sad about that.
No, it was phenomenal.
They both fought hard and fought well.
And I would say next time Jeff Neal is on a card, I'm going to be watching it because
absolutely.
It was awesome. I mean, you never know. Maybe one day we get a Neal versus Shavkat title fight.
Maybe,
because it looks like Shavkat's on his road to a title shot.
Oh, absolutely.
It really does.
Every fight that he's making now is going to just be the next step closer.
You think Colby and Shavkat, if they fight, who wins? I am actually going to say Shavkat.
Yeah, give me Shavkat.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a big Colby fan. I don't think he's that great of a fighter. Just like
hot take.
Muhammad going on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Right.
And he's sitting there. He's like, "Are you scared of Colby?" No, I think he's the worst fighter in the division. A lot of disrespect towards Colby, but I mean, rightfully so. Colby gets a lot of disrespect back.
Oh yeah.
But I would love to see a Colby versus Shavkat fight.
That'd be a great fight. I mean, they both have cardio. They're both pretty complete fighters, and they're both tough.
I know Hamza was like, did Hamza and Burns get booked? I almost want to say it did.
Oh no, Burns and Masvidal's is.
I'm sorry, Burns and Masvidal. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that just got booked. But Khamzat was looking for a fight.
Yeah, I heard Hamza and Colby is close.
It's like Colby, Belal Muhammad, and Paulo Costa, I'm pretty sure, are the kind of runners right now for that fight.
Right.
Which is right. But I'll love to see all three of them.
I kind of think it's going to be Colby, and that's the one I kind of would want to see, honestly.
I kind of want to see Paulo Costa.
Really?
Yeah. Because I just love him. He's his secret juice, like, he's a funny-ass guy. You said you want to see Colby?
Yeah. I think that would be I want to see that 5 rounds, though.
I think he rips Colby a new one.
Really?
Yeah, Hamzat's relentless, man.
Really? I think you'd be surprised. I think Colby's wrestling and cardio. I think he'd be able to definitely give Hamzat a tough fight.
Hamzat versus Shavkat. That is going to be a good fight.
That is 2 stars coming up. That would be.
I still think Shavkat needs another fight before that, though. I think he needs. I think so too. I think he needs like 2 full good camps before he can fight Hamzat. Because Hamzat's a good ass fighter, man.
Yeah, that's almost a fight for later. Like, that has to be a title fight.
That will. That's something that might actually be a title fight
eventually. Yeah.
Out of all the things we said, that's most realistically going to be a title fight one day.
Yeah.
Definitely. But Hands of Steel Neal, he deserves another fight soon. I would love to see him get another one, and I have so much love to both of them, man. They're just such a great fight. That's what you want. That's what you watch. That's what you want to watch.
That was entertainment. That was a great fight. They both were just out there pouring it all out, and it was a war.
They were striking hard.
You got to
too.
see some of everything too. Some grappling, some striking. They were throwing hard shots.
Now, before I get into this next fight, let me take a deep breath because Shevchenko, Valentina Shevchenko, and Alexa Grasso. Sorry, I can never pronounce her name. That's how crazy. I'm mind boggled.
The bullet, yeah.
Grasso submitted Valentina Shevchenko, I want to say in the fourth, to take the title. Which is insane. I mean,
Wild.
the whole MMA world, everyone in the crowd, they're freaking out because
I'm shocked. I'm still shocked.
It was just as soon as Valentina Shevchenko had thrown that spinning kick, right, the spinning body kick,
Right, and then,
it was like Grasso saw a pit of gold on her back,
yeah,
and jumped on her like a monkey and just getting her
and
down.
held on, and man,
And not even that, like it wasn't like it was a one miss mistake. That's why she won. It was a phenomenal fight.
oh no, the whole fight was competitive.
That's like another fight of the night kind of nominee.
Yeah, I mean Valentina, she was fighting a good fight.
Just about winning on the scorecards.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, though. Not by a lot.
No, it was tight. By all means, it was not a dominant performance. And then Grasso was getting hit, and she was taking some shots and everything. And for her to just jump on that opportunity, like literally, and take her down, get to the back, and submit her, that is just not the way I would have seen this fight go. And that was so surprising. I couldn't believe that.
I don't think Valentina Shevchenko really prepared for the relentlessness and onslaught that Alexa Grasso was bringing. Alexa Grasso having her uncle in her corner for all these fights, right? She's very close with her uncle.
Right.
And I know she says, like, in all of her fights, win or lose, like, they're very hard on her. They're very loving, but they always watch film. They always prepare hard. And they said this fight that they prepared a little bit harder. And this fight, they really focused on the mental aspect of this fight. And it was clear that, this is going to be crazy to say, that it's a possibility that Alexa Grasso just wanted it more. Which is crazy to say. Because it's Valentina Shevchenko, the GOAT of her division.
Right.
But it was just like she wanted it more and she got it.
I kind of agree with you. It's good. Do you think? I feel like they're probably going to run that back right away,
like September or whatnot or whatever that.
What do you think about that? That's going to be interesting.
Well, I'll give you the hottest take in MMA right now. Not the hottest take. Arrow in this podcast, and he said that he wishes fights like this, the GOAT, like someone like Valentina Shevchenko, loses the belt, like the Amanda Nunes and Julia Pena thing.
Right.
We had seen in the immediate rematch that Amanda Nunes had took her belt back, and it was like that. Julia Pena, I can't think of her name. Pena.
Juliana Pena.
Yeah, I want to make sure I got her name right. That kind of her reign didn't last very long. It was really, everyone forgot about it. The truth of the matter is, when you're the champion for that long, and you hold 7, 8 title defenses, there's nothing that doesn't guarantee you a rematch. You
Why should you not? Yeah, you held the belt and for that long had that many 7 consecutive title defenses. I think Valentina was at. There's no reason for her to have to climb the ladder again. Another thing with not doing the immediate rematches is you run the risk of it really not happening again. Because let's say if you don't do the rematch, then that means Valentina gets booked for another fight. Grasso is going to have to defend the belt against somebody. What if she loses and she loses the belt and then it never happens?
Yeah.
I don't, that just, honestly, that's dumb.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. Especially, listen, it's not like we're talking about, another women's flyweight fighter. This is Valentina Shevchenko, the greatest women's flyweight of all time.
Right. GOAT. Like, how does she not get her rematch? What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't quite understand it, and I understand where he's coming from. You want these people who get these, fight so hard for these belts and take it from the long reigning champ to hold it for a while, but unfortunately,
then beat her if you're the champ now.
That was the point I made to you earlier. Remember, I said, okay, you're the champ. This is just another fight. Beat her and defend your title. Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is.
I mean, I feel like all of those fighters, when they're all at this level, they all think that they're the best, right?
Yes,
they should. So then just do it again.
Yeah, no, definitely. But back to the fight with Alexa Grasso. Her boxing looks so good, man.
Oh yeah, she was able to catch her more than what I expected. Because Valentina knew that coming in. She knew that the boxing was a strong suit of Grasso.
Yeah.
And even knowing that coming in, Valentina seems to always find a way to. She knows what her opponent's strengths are, and she always comes into the fight, it seems, ready for that.
Yeah. And you would think, her being a counter striker, right? You would have think that this would be a perfect opportunity, a perfect fight for her. Aggressive boxer versus a counter striker. Who else would a counter striker like Valentina want?
Yeah.
Aggressive boxer. So she can slip jabs and she can counter with the hooks and a straight and a takedown and the head kicks and everything. And that's what we had all thought. But it seemed that Alexa Grasso has developed her game into more of a boxer, more wrestling, better with the grappling
fighter.
She really liked this. These are 2 submission wins in a row for her from someone who, before these last 2 fights, never had a submission win.
That's insane.
And then she submits the champ.
That's how she wins the belt?
I mean, all props to her,
real.
man.
Yeah.
And Mexico, 3 UFC champions right now.
That's insane.
I mean, let's go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, and they were talking about how
that's awesome for the sport.
There could be a card where, all 3 of these guys or 2 of the champs from Mexico compete in Mexico. Would you be sick, man?
All 3 champs on the same card?
Could you imagine?
That would be insane.
It would be awesome, especially they would fill a freaking soccer stadium full of Mexican UFC fans.
For sure.
I mean, I would love to see that.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
imagine 3 title fights.
But you, oh my gosh, I would have to buy that. Oh my god, I'd be here. Right, just dead eye.
Dan would be like, oh, this is 3 title fights. The pay-per-view's going up.
It's up. It's just great. Again, Valentina did say right after the fight that she was going to get an immediate rematch, and
I mean, rightfully so. She should want it.
She deserves it.
It's awesome that she wants it. That makes it exciting for us. Like, of course she wants it right after, and she's calling for it. I want the rematch. The night of, she's calling for the rematch.
And the thing for Alexa Grasso is defend it.
If
you could beat her once, maybe you could beat her again.
Yeah, defend it. It's your belt now. Keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
unfortunately,
sets it up for another great fight.
Like the whole Amanda Nunes situation. Like, well, Amanda's a better fighter. Amanda went in there and proved that. There's no. Maybe she should have held it longer. She wants to fight the best, right?
Absolutely.
Well, who else is better than Blanchfield, who's another up and coming women's flyweight? No, sorry, but Shevchenko's the best. Shevchenko ran through that division, man.
Right.
So she gets it.
She was lapping it. This was the second time.
But yeah, again, Alexa Grasso just really looked like she wanted it more, and just
she fought hard.
It was awesome.
That was a display of heart.
No one thought she was gonna win.
No,
it was like the second biggest underdog on the card, except for
she was counted out.
She really was. From all the predictions I've seen, it was Valentina Shevchenko's going to run through it. This is just someone who wanted to compete for it, but it wasn't that. And it was like
what I thought, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we both picked Shevchenko easily, round 1 or something.
Right.
I mean, it's like her grappling and her wrestling was like kind of not negligible. Like it didn't have a big impact on the fight at all.
That fight was wild.
There's a few times where Alexa Grasso even got her back.
Yeah.
Which is surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, Grasso, if you would have told me before the fight Grasso's going to win by submission
in the championships round,
I just would have thought you were crazy. That's just
me too.
Insane to me. That's why you watch these fights.
You watch. I do think this history repeats itself with the Amanda Nunes. I do think that Shevchenko comes back and takes her belt because no one adapts just like Shevchenko. But
it's really going to be hard to beat her twice.
Yeah. But I can't wait for that fight.
Oh my god,
man, that's going to be good.
Yeah, it is.
You're going to be great.
She's going to be focused and hungry.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, congrats Alexa Grasso, man. I'm awesome to see.
Exciting.
New champ. Always like new champs.
Yeah.
And there's another new champ.
Oh my god.
John Bones Jones,
baby. Let's go.
Submit Cyril Gane in the first round. I mean, head blown off. I know you guys probably heard it and seen all the videos and heard post fight, but goddamn, man, we didn't predict round 1, did we? What did you say? Was Jones' decision, or I forget what you said.
A round 1 submission to win the belt that fast. Oh my god, I can't even fucking believe it. Watching that, I'm still shocked. Watching that fight, it was literally like. I was telling this to my brother earlier. I was like, it was literally like John Jones had a checklist. Like, okay, listen for bell. Bell rings. Step 1. Step 2, walk towards Cyril Gane. Step 3, take him down and choke him out. Win the heavyweight belt, be the GOAT. Like
Call out Stipe.
It's like he just methodically just beat him. That was dominant. That was insane.
I'll give myself props though. I did say during I rewatched the UFC 285 pre-fight show. I did say there's this possibility that John Jones comes out there and just out wrestles him, gets him to the ground, and finishes him.
Right.
I did say that. I mean, because there were so many possibilities that could happen with this fight.
It was a lot. It was.
I thought that was the most unlikely.
Yeah, right.
I had gone around 4 in my official prediction.
Yeah.
This is a scary fight for Gane because now you're going to
exposed him.
Yes, you're going to face some new opponents that are not even going to care about you trying to punch him in the face. They're going to get on your ankle and your heel and get you on the ground.
Right. Like if I see Gane, I'm just going to shoot.
Yeah. There he is. Get him. It's just the fight started. We're super excited watching it. You know, they're going a little back and forth, right?
Little exchange. John Jones landed that one right hand,
and Jones overextended on the one, leaving a blaring chin shot. Gone.
Little nut shot.
Yeah, a little nut shot and a little action. Then there was a perfect executed takedown, pinned him against the fence, was able to leverage his position. I know he went for he tried to get one position to get in a submission, failed a little bit, and then came back, not even fully under the neck. I mean, It was right on the chin. But the pressure is so tight there. What could happen there? Instead of choking him out, he could squeeze so hard where your teeth go through your lip. You could break a freaking jaw doing that.
Right. He was under a lot.
He was under there, and that's a man who benches 500 pounds.
Right. And I think Gane was able to scurry up to his feet for a split second back again, but then Jones just brought him right back down and was able to hold him there, use his weight. He did get a little bit of ground and pound off too. Mm-hmm. And then he just was able to get to a dominant position, and he stayed pretty patient. He didn't rush anything. And then once he got that guillotine in and put that pressure on, he was almost able to put his new heavyweight into it.
Yes.
And Gane was forced to tap.
A lot of people going to this fight didn't recognize Jones because of his physique, didn't like his physique. It was clear that Jones felt a little uncomfortable in his physique. He felt a little uncomfortable coming in at that 248, 247 pound mark. It definitely weighed on him a little bit, and he talked about that, right? He talked about how that weighed on him down a little bit. It was clear, but I mean, regardless of him being uncomfortable, regardless of him being, not in the best shape that he's ever been in. Stay hard, like David Goggins says. That motherfucker
it doesn't
went
matter.
out there.
None of that.
He's so talented.
The champ is here.
Yes, dude.
It doesn't matter.
If you guys didn't see, by the way, he had one person in his corner who, right when I heard it, I texted you, was like, Jones winning this fight. David Goggins was in his corner.
Yeah.
And when you wake up at 5 a.m., you have David Goggins telling you, stay hard, motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
Like, Jones could have broke a leg and he still would have submitted him. He's just on him. But back to real life. Jones wins this fight. Gane's in utter disbelief. Gane's disappointed. Gane's sad.
Yeah, there's a shot of him on the ground.
He's like,
I can't believe it.
What do you think? Your question. What do you think really happened with Gane? Was it? I'll give you 3 things. Number 1, the nerves got to him in the moment. Number 2, wasn't the nerves. He just was completely outskilled. Or 3, a little bit of both.
I'm gonna actually go with 2. I don't think it was the nerves at all. I don't think John Jones had. I'm sorry. I don't think Cyril Gane had nerves going in because he's been there before. He fought for the belt against Ngannou. He's fought in a lot of primetime fights on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
He's fought Tai Tuivasa. He's had a lot of big fights.
Lewis.
The moment is not something that's new to him.
No.
Honestly, John Jones, to me, looked way more nervous than Gane did.
Yeah, walking out. He did. Yeah. He really did.
Yeah.
That's something he said he was nervous.
I'll tell you about this later, but that's something that worries me going forward. But no, I think Gane went in confident, ready to do his thing, and John Jones just had the perfect plan, and he said he was going to make it look easy, and he did. And he said, I see holes in Gane's game. He's not as good as people think. And he exploited them, and he took him down, and just step by step.
Completely outskilled.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it was one guy who was way better than the other.
I think Gane, going forward, this does drop his stock a hell of a lot. I mean, It really does for me.
Yeah, a hell of a amount of
Because now that you gotten exposed on the biggest stage, your wrestling is that poor, your grappling is that poor. Like, he needs to, obviously, ever since the Francis fight, he probably did work on his wrestling. Not enough, but this is really going forward going to open the scenario for he's gonna look for better coaches at the wrestling level.
Yeah,
and it might be training like guys like Khabib and people in Dagestan, the guys who really, like he needs to pair up with some elite wrestlers for this situations.
Well, because the whole heavyweight division was watching that fight, and now they see. Well, it's a hole in his game.
Huge hole.
That's the ticket to beating him. Take him down. That's what everybody, and just beat him on the ground.
I mean, it's kind of how Francis did the same thing.
Yeah.
Francis, kept bringing him to the ground, throwing him like a freaking rag doll around.
Right.
And I don't know. It's weird. His wrestling hasn't progressed since we've last seen him, which is worrisome.
Absolutely.
Right?
It almost
reflects on the coach a little bit.
Right.
I don't know. This is John Jones, man. Like,
maybe he just wasn't prepared. Maybe he just didn't expect John Jones to be that powerful, that strong, and that dominant in wrestling.
I mean, which I'm not saying he's justified thinking that, but you were getting a guy from light heavyweight that bulked up to get there. So you'd be like, maybe I have the strength advantage because I'm already a heavyweight. I'm used to my body. I'm used to my strength. So I could see where maybe he would be coming from in that situation. But still, this guy is a master class of a fighter who's been doing this. Like, the issue with their skill difference, wrestling-wise, is Gon's catching up from years upon years upon years of experience. Like, I don't know. Right. I really wouldn't ever want to see them fight again because I just personally think it would go the same way.
So, what do you think? Do you think it was nerves, a combination of the two, or a skill difference?
Skill difference?
Yeah.
I also think... I think... nerves played a 5% part in it. You kind of did lose the fight. I feel like when he first saw Jones, maybe, but in essence, it's the nerves, whatever. Because John Jones was nervous as well too, and didn't back away from choking you out in the first 2 minutes of the fight. So, yep, I think it's a skill difference. Gon has phenomenal footwork. He's a phenomenal striker. He's still a good fighter, but his hole in his game will not allow him to capture a title or get back into that number one contender spot until
it's too big.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah, I mean, what he's good at, he's very good at. But now the hole in his game is obvious and big, and he's going to have to address that for sure.
Next, we move into what's next?
Just one more thing about that, actually, because I just wanted to say, the way John Jones to me, because going forward, he looked nervous, outwardly nervous, coming out, getting into the cage, even in the cage, he looked very nervous the whole time to me, and he didn't even the only time that he looked comfortable was grappling. He didn't look. That's when he got comfortable. He wasn't all the way up until the point where he was clinching with Gon and ready to take him down. He seemed nervous as fuck to me.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Like, in his new body and his new weight, and it didn't he? I thought coming out, like when the bell rang, he did look a little awkward.
Yeah,
like,
the whole thing looked a little awkward to me. That kind of makes me a little worried going forward because, like, I don't know what to expect. Like,
was now you're only getting the best of the best.
I never saw him look like that before, and maybe it's the layoff. Maybe there was the ring rust. Maybe that does go away in the next fight, and maybe it's not a non-issue. But maybe it is an issue. I don't know.
I truly think it was his weight, and I think the next fight he does get into, I do think he'll be at a lower weight. I don't think he'll be in that. I don't think he's at that 240 range. And
do you think that takes away the nerves for him?
I think that takes away some of the awkwardness.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know about nerve. I think nerves are good. I think it was 3 years. I mean, the next fight only been a few months, so I do feel like he'll bounce back from the nerves.
It was some of the layoff.
Even if he has a little nerves in his next fight, I think it'll break once he gets past the freaking round.
Right.
I think we'll start to see that.
Yeah, and he didn't really get to get into it too much. You know what I mean? It was part of because of how good he was, but he never really got to get tested a little bit.
Although the fight,
something to think about.
Although the fight was good, I think the post-fight was even better. Because there's not, obviously Joe Rogan's in his face and he's bad, but brothers are picking him up. But the next fight got planned right there and then.
Oh yeah, Stipe.
Oh Lord,
That's gonna be a test.
He's calling. They have it in split screen, right? And I had it in my last video, but he had it in split screen. He has Stipe right here, just kind of like smiling, looking at the camera.
Right.
Stipe is like, "Welcome to my world." Stipe does the way Stipe handled it all, kind of badass. Stipe's like, I'm gonna whoop his ass. Like Stipe's like, this is my division.
I don't give
That's
a shit.
my belt you're wearing.
Right.
I'm the GOAT of this division. So, I mean, first for anything, the GOAT of the division, and then the GOAT of UFC. Holy, sign me up. Looking at International Fight Week in July, by the way.
Yeah. That would be one of the biggest fights of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I hope that gets booked.
I do, and
that would be a treat.
Right now, even John Jones Open is the favorite. How do you
really?
like? What do you think of that fight?
That's tough, man. I don't know that's because I still think that a lot of the questions that you had about Jones coming into the Gane fight are still there to go into the Stipe fight, because we didn't really get to see him settle in too much. I feel like the ring rust is still the same question.
Yeah.
Is that still there? How much did that long of a layoff affect him?
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, Gane is not Stipe. Like,
no,
they are. I mean, if it was Stipe versus Gane, I was gonna take Stipe. Like, Stipe wanted this fight in March. He wanted this fight, didn't work out. Stipe's been chomping the bits to get to this guy.
Yeah.
And one thing Stipe had said that really hit with me is Stipe's not coming in at 230 like he did before. It was like, I guess, like DC and whatnot.
Right.
And even Ngannou. Like, Stipe is 253 pounds right now. He said that he's going to push that 265 barrier that they have, or 260 for
really? Heavyweight.
So, I mean, we have the GOAT at heavyweight coming in at an actual heavyweight. Like, this guy's, he reportedly had put on over his off season where he's real quiet, working as his firefighter job, right? He's doing what he's got to do, multimillionaire. Right. He put on like 25 pounds of muscle. This guy, I think Stipe has been behind the whole thing and knew what eventually what was going to happen.
He's just prepping.
I think Stipe's been ready for this shit for a while now, and I think he knew what was going to end up happening. Like, I think he knew the timetable he was going to fight John after this. I really do. I think Stipe was ahead of all this.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think Stipe is definitely going to be ready. He hasn't fought in a while. He put on weight, but he's a way more complete fighter than Gane is. That'll be a test.
Issue is,
that'll be really exciting.
Still a bit of a wrestling difference there.
Yeah,
but not as big. Like, Stipe can neutralize it.
I mean, he fought and beat DC, who's one of the best wrestlers.
Twice.
Yeah. That's an interesting fight.
I think Stipe, the only one issue I have with Stipe also is, so I have his age, obviously, which I do not really care about too much in heavyweight. But I want to say the wrestling difference, which that's not even my main concern. It's going to be Stipe's chin at this point. Stipe took, after that huge uppercut from Francis, Stipe's chin isn't what it used to be. Stipe has taken a lot of hits. Stipe has a lot of wear and tear on his body. But so does Jones, respectively. So does Jones. Not as much, but still a lot. I think this is just going to be a phenomenal fight. I think it's the best matchup we currently have in the heavyweight division.
Oh, yeah. Best case scenario.
I think so.
Best case scenario. It's going to be fucking awesome.
If there's a guy in the heavyweight division that has the best chance of beating Jones, it's Stipe.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this fight, man.
I'm excited for that. That's going to be awesome.
Because Stipe's a GOAT. Stipe's a GOAT.
Yeah, he is. What do you think? Early thoughts.
Earlier, me and you had discussed it a few days ago. I had came across and I said that I still think John Jones is going to win.
And still,
I got to kind of do a little bit of research on how Stipe's looking currently, how his mindset is, and him listening to him on Ariel's show and whatnot. I'm slowly starting to turn towards a Stipe victory in the later championship rounds. I'm starting to think that this fight isn't going to be what we've seen from Gane. This fight will be more than one round. This fight will endure some great striking and some pretty solid wrestling. I don't think either of them gets submitted. I think this comes down to a TKO from Stipe. I really do. I think this is where we see the king fall. But I think a rematch is then issued somewhat in that area. I do think John gets another shot, and I think there's two Stipe fights with John Jones. I think there's a Stipe, John Jones 1 and 2.
I could see that, honestly. That's not out. That's not too out there to me. This is a hard one. I don't know.
It's so hard to
I
predict.
don't know. I couldn't predict this, honestly.
No,
I'm
can't.
gonna have to leave this one alone.
No, for now,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight.
This
That's
is his
what I'll
second fight.
predict.
The thing is, they're going against him. This is his second fight at heavyweight, and he's fighting the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Right.
What's going with him? The age, the grappling definitely is helping, and possibly the wear and tear on his body from getting hit so many times with the fucking face.
The confidence. A
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
He's coming off a title victory.
Regardless, though, it's just going to be a great fight.
Oh, no matter what.
There's
it's
other
gonna be a good
options.
fight. I think no matter what, I think the odds on it being a great fight are 100%.
And I think the second best fight that you'd be looking for, I don't, as many would think number 3, Sergey Popovich. I don't think that's the next best fight.
No?
I do think Curtis Blades is the better matchup.
I like that.
Because
Curtis
Blades,
matchup.
although his striking leaves a lot to be desired, his wrestling's up. His wrestling.
Oh, he's an awesome wrestler.
He will compete with Jones wrestling.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't just say Jones has that advantage.
He's not going to just be able to control Curtis on the ground.
The issue is that the striking is a big advantage.
Right.
But
Curtis Blades does have a heavy right hand.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Curtis will ever get a chance, because I do think this will be both Stipe and John's last fight.
That's a good possibility, honestly.
If he beats Stipe, what's left? Jones just gonna fight Curtis Blades and Sergey Pavlovich? No. Is Stipe gonna sit around and fight anyone else? No, man. They're both done.
Right.
Ariel kept trying to ask Stipe, "It's gonna be your last fight if you win." And Stipe's like, "Come on, man." He's like, "I don't know,
Let me get through this one.
Yeah. Regardless, I don't know. The heavyweight division, I don't think it's as crazy wide open. You said you do think it's a little wide open right now?
Yeah,
because of Jones, how you feel about him right now?
Yeah, because of Jones, the champion, to me, there's still a lot of questions with him, regardless of how great he is. Yeah, I think, because there's a lot of fighters that still could all potentially compete, and they all have that knockout power. The heavyweight division's like finicky. Yeah. Anything could happen at any moment.
Unfortunately, we won't get Ngannou.
Like Tai Tuivasa just a couple months ago was like on fire, getting ready to, compete for a belt. And now he's on a little bit of a slide. Like, they all have that power. It's a wild division.
That's why heavyweight's so cool, because it's just like one punch can really decide so many things in that damn division. Yeah. When Ngannou just uppercutted everyone out of the fucking distance. I'm still forever gonna be salty. We're never gonna see that fight.
They're still they're still looking for Overeem's head.
Yeah. And Stipe still kind of blink it open after that one. Yeah. They took that shot to the damn chin.
Jesus.
Anything else on the UFC, Drew?
I think that's pretty much it.
Well, last few days we've had a crazy, last few days of NFL news. I'll fill you in real quick. Franchise tags. Josh Jacobs was franchise tagged. Saquon Barkley was franchise tagged. They were the two big notable names. On top of my head, I can't think of it. I do have a video that discussed any other franchise tags. Daniel Jones has signed a 4-year, $160 million extension that really kind of shaped up the quarterback market a little bit more. Geno Smith, I think it was 3 years, 105 million, 3 years, something along those lines. He's getting paid like 30 something a year. Like that. Good for Geno. Aaron Rodgers talked to the Jets on this past Monday. Sauce Gardner was on Twitter vouching for him.
Yeah, of course.
Eagles are expected to lose Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Miles Sanders, and did I say James Bradbury? All the stars. Every single star you could think of, actually. Everybody. Literally everybody. Couldn't mix the biggest thing. Again, we've been dealing with this Lamar Jackson contract talks for a while now. They did place the exclusive tag on him that he's now being getting paid $32.04 million for the year. But what the non-exclusive tag means for people who may not know, he is still able to negotiate with other teams and receive offers. Per se, the Atlanta Falcons, who are apparently not interested, but per se they were to put an offer in. Right. The Ravens could match that offer or decline that offer. Per se, they were able that Lamar signs with Atlanta Falcons. Right. They received 2 first-round picks.
I think it's honestly that's a very good scenario to be in almost for the Ravens because it kind of is like, okay, we're not exactly sure what the market is on Lamar right now. We don't want to overpay. So let's see what it is. Let's let him get the offers. And that's a good way. So we'll just match it. And whatever he's worth, the highest offer he gets, I guess, they have the opportunity to just match it. And then they got him for, I guess, what really is the lowest that they got, unless they get into, there's a bidding war.
Yeah. Unfortunately for MVP Lamar Jackson, his market wasn't spiking because Deanna Rossi, one of the ESPN analysis, whatever her name is, and Adam Schefter had came out, and there's so many NFL teams coming out, the Commanders, all the Raiders, were not interested. They will not be pursuing Lamar, which to many is very surprising.
I thought it was a little surprising.
If I'm being totally honest, I kind of saw this scenario play out in my head. Once I heard the realm of Lamar wanting the $250 million guaranteed kind of contract that Deshaun Watson had gotten,
right?
I knew how shaked up the NFL was after Deshaun Watson got that deal. I knew that something like that would not be replicated, and I still don't think it's going to be replicated.
Yeah,
that's why I believe why this is happening.
Yeah, that shook the league up a little bit, fucked the market up, and now we got guys like Daniel Jones getting $40 million a year.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What the?
I don't understand why they're giving him $40 million a year. I had thought Dable maybe wanted to go get his own guy. Although he played good, I mean, he's had one season where he threw over 15 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
you're giving him a lot of money for that, man.
That's insane to me.
Dak over there is making $40 million. At least Dak has had some hot 30 touchdown pass seasons.
He's played in some big games. He's gotten his team further. I don't know what the hell the Giants are doing with that.
No, I don't understand either. I don't understand why they're giving him so much money. And they're tagging Saquon, which I understand because Saquon's going to want a shitload of money.
Right. I mean, they're going to have a tough situation in a couple.
They are trying to extend Dexter Lawrence as well, by the way. I just seen that before he came here.
It would be smart.
The quarterback market's pretty fucked right now. I was talking to my friend Brendan at the gym today, and we were like, damn, man, I wish we could just hit a reset button on that market. Because truthfully, it's becoming a pay the quarterback kind of league. And although I enjoy good quarterback play, I don't know. I don't want the whole league to be consumed by these high-paid quarterbacks, and then the rest of the team, I don't know, man. It's a little bit frustrating because I feel like we were blessed for the last 10 years where every quarterback, there wasn't just such a outlier in who's being paid what. Tom Brady was being paid still top 10, maybe top 12 because he wanted his team to succeed. Aaron Rodgers got a lot of money, but still relatively good deal to where he was able to get a lot of playoff success with a pretty decent team around him.
That's why you need a quarterback to be willing to take a team-friendly deal to where you're still going to be well paid.
Yes.
I mean, the money's there. Like Joe Burrow.
He's taking
a team-friendly deal, which is going to allow his team to keep things around him to help his success.
Yeah.
Which is going to help the team's success. And they're still going to be in a position to where they can try to win and sign other players and have other stars.
Yes.
That's the way to do it. If you can get a quarterback that's willing to truly put winning first. A lot of quarterbacks say they want to put winning first, but then they cripple their team in the salary.
And in no way, I love Jalen Hurts to death. I love the guy as a quarterback. I love the guy as a player. He's motivated me, motivated so many. Phenomenal player.
Right.
But I hope, this kid to me is, like he said in his postseason conference, I want to win championships. Right. I want to win. I just hope that mentality reflects your contract.
Yeah, because prove it. Prove it and take a team-friendly deal.
You deserve a lot of money. You do. You're a phenomenal quarterback. But did you see the success your team had this year? And listen, a lot of it was guaranteed off of your play, but also because your team was fucking stacked well of stars. Because they were able to do that because you were on a cheaper deal.
Right.
And it is a rookie deal, so it's nothing. Obviously, whatever deal you're going to get is going to allow less star power no matter what. But still, I mean, there's no way we can give this guy more than $50 million a year. Personally, I'm comfortable with 42 to 47. I'd said it in a video previously. He's okay with what, 45 to 50?
Yeah, just with how everything's being, because I don't think that you can let him walk. I do think that Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback, and I think with him and Sirianni, that's a good duo, and as long as they're here, we're going to be okay. But I don't think you can give him much more than that either, because you don't want to completely bind yourself to not being able to get anybody else. So I think with Daniel Jones at 40 and there's a couple other quarterbacks in that vicinity, Dak like right there, I think that would be a fair price to try to realistically hopefully keep him happy and not have him be breaking the market either.
No, yeah, definitely. What do you think about what do you think about Carr to the Saints? By the way, that was a pretty. I forgot to report that. Sorry. What do you think about that?
That is a really, really good move. I think for both of them, really.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Saints, that puts them in an awesome spot. I mean, I think Carr is going to have a lot of success there.
You like Carr?
I really do. Especially, I think he made the right choice for himself by going to New Orleans.
I don't think it's one of those moves that's like T.O. to the Eagles or A.J. Brown to the Eagles. I think it is a good move, though. I think this is a move that propels them into a playoff team now. I do believe so. I think Carr in MVP season, like 2 seasons ago, right? You know, his production had dropped off a little bit in the past 2 years. And with a coach like John Gruden before and now Josh McDaniels, who failed to get the offense going at first, like, I don't think he was always put in the best position. Listen, he did have Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, and Devontae. I understand.
Right.
But I just think this is one of the situations where a change of scenery, change of playbook, and a change of personnel will benefit him. He's 32 years old. He's entering it's going to be his 10th season. I want to say his 10th season in the NFL. I think this is a good move.
Still should have a lot of football left.
Yes, yeah, and he has. I mean, it's Chris Olave down there.
Yeah.
I don't believe Michael Thomas will be back. They have Traquan Smith, and then they have Marquez Callaway. Pretty solid, wide receiving core. They have Adam Trautman at their tight end position. Like I said, this isn't one of those moves that makes them a Super Bowl contender.
Solid offensive line,
but it makes them a better team, and definitely, I think, a playoff caliber team.
I agree,
especially with the NFC South.
Right.
Tom Brady's gone.
He's gone.
Who's starting? Kyle Trask. You know, Kyle Trask.
Atlanta's kind of in a...
Atlanta, Sam Darnold. Who the hell is the Carolina going to be playing? I mean...
Yeah.
You know?
It's a... I think... that's a good...
He went into a good position.
Solid move for both parties.
But we can't count the NFC South out of anything yet because we still have another quarterback on the market right now, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we got to see... That is going to...
It's looking like the same.
We really got to see where he goes. It's looking like the Jets, but wherever he goes, he instantly makes them
a really good team,
a playoff team.
Yeah,
a playoff team at least.
Yeah. I think it's a lot different than the Russ situation because I just think Aaron Rodgers is a completely different player than Russ.
Yeah, I kind of think they're on different levels.
Yeah. The Jets committed so much right now. The Jets had hired former Packers offensive coordinator, former Broncos head coach, Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know why they signed him, but the reason they signed him as their offensive coordinator for next season is to literally get Aaron Rodgers. Yo, come with your offensive coordinator you had all that success with back in Green Bay before he left. Come on.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. All signs point to Rodgers to the Jets.
And that team kind of feels like a contender with him, honestly. I mean,
it kind of does. They got a lot of young talent.
Quinnen Williams at the defensive tackle.
Sauce Gardner.
Dog. Elijah Moore.
Dog.
I forgot the other words. They have Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson. They had offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Yeah. I mean, they're a really good team, man.
Young, yeah.
Michael Carter, and then Michael Carter might have got traded. But
might be the perfect scenario, honestly, to have the veteran quarterback who's won Super Bowls with all those.
Who's the halfback that got hurt for the Jets? Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna think of his name. He would probably be an offensive rookie of the year. To be honest with you guys, I'll put him up if I remember. That's really gonna piss me off. Hold on, Jerk. You look that up for me real quick, because I'm gonna be pissed off if I don't figure that out. But nonetheless, fine.
Jamie, can't you do it?
Jamie, he's out today. I don't have a producer today. He's out. But nonetheless, I mean, them signing Nathaniel Hackett. It's like, come on, guys, please come here, Rodgers, because they have a good defense, good offense. I mean, really this year they were a better, a quarterback away from being a playoff team because
Breece Hall,
yes, he's a freaking monster.
I was gonna say that too, but I didn't want to get it wrong. It looked dumb.
Yeah, you don't want to outshine me or whatever. But Mike White and Zach Wilson weren't getting it done. I mean, when your two best options are Mike White and Zach Wilson, it's a freaking issue.
Yeah.
It's a friggin' issue. Zach Wilson sucks, man. I'm sorry to say.
Clown.
Best thing he was good at is getting with moms. Like
Oh my god.
That's why I play for the BYU Cougars. Tell me that isn't freaking ironic as shit. By the way,
yeah, that's funny as hell.
The Cougars.
The Cougs.
And he's getting with his best friend's mom. And he sucks at football too. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and he's a shit quarterback.
Yeah, went number 2. I think he went number 2 or something like that. And I remember the Jets Twitter was like, he should have went number 1. No, he shouldn't have.
They probably wish he did now.
Yeah, no, seriously, dude. But yeah, that's an interesting situation down there, definitely.
I like that though. Rodgers to the Jets, that would be really good for them.
Honestly, as someone
whoever gets him is lucky.
Neutral about the Jets, I would like to see some success in the Jets franchise.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
When you haven't won a Super Bowl since Joe Namath was your quarterback.
Yeah.
And Joe Namath already said he'd give up the 12 for him, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe. He said he'd
That's
a celebrity in Joe Namath. Because they've had no success. It's like Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez. Marky, butt fumble and shit like that.
They're both memes.
Yeah, it's just horrible. I definitely would like to see Aaron Rodgers, the Jets. Let him get success.
That'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely.
In coaching news,
then there might be some Jets fans.
Maybe, just maybe.
Mostly everybody up there is Giants fans.
You'll see like, where we live, like there's an occasional Jets fan I'll see.
Yeah, and they're usually like they know somebody, they're related to somebody on the team.
It's very rare. Yeah. It's very rare you see any Jets fans. How do you feel about, as an Eagles fan, how do you feel about us losing Deward Wilson? We brought in what's his name? Oh my God. We brought in a new defensive coordinator from the Seahawks. I can't forever don't forget his name, but we lost our defensive backs coach, Deward Wilson, who C.J. Gardner-Johnson talks so highly about. It's a big loss.
Yeah, I think it definitely hurts our chances of keeping CJ.
I think so too.
I think he that would being able to have him would have influenced Gardner Johnson into wanting to stay, because I think he's part of the reason that he was able to have so much success with us.
Yeah, definitely that hurts, and he actually went to the Ravens. So I mean, interesting enough, it does hurt. It really does. Around the league, you know, although players are so good, like coaches matter so much. And a coach like Dennard Wilson,
the enemy going to Washington, that's going to help them a lot.
Oh yeah, that is so huge, man. That's something I can't wait to see what he does, whoever their quarterback is.
It's going to be an interesting offense.
I'm kind of scared a little bit. I feel like the Commanders are that kind of franchise. They will go out and give that kind of money like that to Lamar Jackson. Like they're one of the only franchises I feel like that would really do that right now.
Yeah, like next thing you know, we're looking and we see Washington football team gets Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Commanders football, whatever the hell they're called.
I'm just still gonna call them the football team.
I actually like that. I actually like that more.
Yeah, I think that's probably better than the Commanders.
It was starting to like catch on a little bit.
The football team, right?
WFT, like you know.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I liked it more. I hate them regardless.
Whatever.
What, the Red Wolves or, you know?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Eagles.
Are you scared of Lamar Jackson?
Eagles on top.
You good, go Birds.
Am I scared of Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
In Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely...
Is scared the word?
Scared's not the word, no, but having to play Lamar twice a year with that offense... already having a good defense, then he would have Terry McLaurin. Yeah, that would be something to worry about. I think so. No? No,
I don't like Lamar Jackson.
Really?
No, I don't like his attitude, first of all. And then I don't know. Talking about Lamar is, okay, MVP. That's pretty cool. You have one playoff win. You know, in like what, 4 or 5 years. So you have one playoff win. One MVP. I'll give you credits on the MVP. You've been injured for 11. You've missed 11 games in 2 seasons. You can't stay healthy.
Right.
You have like 7 or 8 fourth quarter comebacks. Again, that's more of a team thing. I understand that. I don't know. Once you neutralize his run game, he'll have like that one good passing game a year. But I'm not scared of his passing game. And I mean, his run game, he'll get effective. I understand that. I'm just not too concerned about him, and that's why I also don't believe he's worth, over $200 million guaranteed. I have weird kind of.
Yeah, I don't think he's worth that kind of contract either.
No.
He
Personally,
hasn't
I don't know
really
if any
proven that
quarterback
he could take it to, right. I mean, right.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
$250 million guaranteed.
It's insane.
It still pisses me off because that just fucked over our quarterback situation. Really did. There's a lot of quarterbacks that need to be signed too, by the way. There's a lot of quarterbacks need an extension this year, which the whole, I don't know, this is a bad time for it all to be happening.
Yeah, it's a wild offseason this year.
And it's not even like fully in yet.
No, it's kind of just starting.
My team fell apart in the first 2 days.
But it's wild because nonetheless, we were playing in the Super Bowl this year, and we have a top 10 draft pick still. We still have things to be excited about. Eagles still are looking up.
Yeah, and there's another guy looking for a new home this year, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, let's just give him Slay.
I was about to say that. I swear to God, I think
Really?
that we are not going to. I think we're making room for someone big.
Really?
Currently.
I haven't really. Okay.
I think we're making room for someone big like Derrick Henry.
That could be an option.
Emptying the house on defense. I think we're trading Slay.
Draft that cornerback.
We're gonna steal everything the Titans have. Everything they have. Their heart, their soul, their pride, everything. Give me AJ, okay, and then Derrick.
Next year, yeah, we're coming back.
We're gonna give Derrick a
Don't worry,
contract.
Derrick. We'll free you next year.
Yeah. We'll give Derrick give us a year.
I like it. Honestly, I like it.
I would like to see Henry on a new team.
Yeah, with us, I would love that.
Or just anywhere.
Already one of the best rushing offenses in the league. Put Derrick Henry back there. Oh my God,
dude, are you kidding me? And then like game one,
not
game
6,
one, the passing
not
down,
7, not 8.
We keep it going. We're gonna have no defense at all. It doesn't matter because we're gonna score way more points than you.
It doesn't matter because we have Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts, and AJ Brown.
That's it. That'd be insane, Devontae. Oh
And
my
Smitty and
God,
Goddard.
man. But we are. They released like initial odds for like who would get Derrick Henry.
Really?
It was like the Titans were first. Even that doesn't make sense because
Okay.
they're shipping him.
Right.
Other than the Titans, Eagles.
Really?
Plus
Okay.
400.
I'd love to see that. That'd be awesome.
Howie's that type of guy.
He is. He always. I mean,
what would our what would the Eagles have on defense? Like I don't know, man. I'm so confused what they would have on defense.
I mean, we do have some young talent coming up on the D line. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. He's somebody who we kind of may have forgotten about throughout the year, but he's going to get an increased role.
Yes.
We're going to draft that cornerback, hopefully.
Oh yeah. Devin Witherspoon. Yeah,
Witherspoon,
at
yeah.
Illinois. Yep. Illinois. Is it noise or Noy?
Illinois, whatever.
Yes or no, I don't care.
Whatever. It's
Ain't gonna affect
silent.
me.
It's not silent. There's still some hope for the defense.
Yeah.
We still have Hassan Reddick. There's pieces in there. You know what I mean? Hopefully we'll be able to keep Epps.
Yeah.
While losing all these other guys. I think Derrick Henry.
Jesus Christmas. Could you imagine?
No.
You know it's kind of crazy right now, though. The free agent linebacker market. Bobby Wagner is looking for a new team, and Eric Kendricks just got released. So
Yeah.
there's like if your team is looking to be if your team's a contender this year, a possibility, or a very high caliber ranking playoff team, like there are two guys you want to add, or at least one of them. Like
Right. Absolutely.
those two are great.
Veteran leaders on your defense.
They only want to go to a contender at this point.
That's all they're looking for.
That's
They're
yeah.
not trying to go fucking just play to play at this point. Like
No.
they want to go to contenders, and I think honestly, Wagner to Philly would be awesome.
Yeah. I would take either of them, honestly. Yeah. But it depends if we're going to sign TJ Edwards back or whatnot. And he has a lot of market, too. I'm intrigued by TJ Edwards.
I hope so. I hope we can keep him. But...
Full-time special teams player. Last year, his role got increased pretty well. He was doing well. We're all like, this guy's good. Let me see him next year. Breakout.
Led the league in tackles, right?
Yeah. Led the team. Yep. And he reads really well. His pass coverage is a lot to be desired, but nonetheless... I think he's going to have a huge market for himself.
I do too.
And wherever he goes, good for him, man.
Yeah, he really stepped up, and I think he's going to keep.
It's not an easy position to play, too.
No.
That's a quarterback of the defense.
Right.
You know? I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
I think he's going to continue to improve, too. I think, he's going to have a good career. I hope we're able to keep him. But if not, I think to look for a veteran like Bobby Wagner to have with Nakobe Dean, I think that's a good scenario.
Yeah, I know the Broncos are also shipping quietly shipping apparently Cortland Sutton.
I just heard that. Yeah.
Which is interesting
They're listening to offers.
I don't know. I thought they would want to keep as much as they can for let Russ cook.
That's I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think
Sean Payton's going in there? Sean Payton's clearing house, getting his own guys in there. What he wants, I do think they're looking to make trades because I do think there's other holes in the team. I think so. I think they are trying to ship Cortland Sutton, who he might have a little bit of a market.
I think so.
Kind of a Kenny Galladay kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like good,
maybe like
hurt a lot, but good production when he's in. I just hope he doesn't end up like Kenny Galladay and not do anything with the Giants.
Right.
Have one touchdown in like 3 years.
Well, hopefully he does come and not do anything with the Giants. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be the most beneficial thing. For us. But I think Sean's
maybe like a mid-round draft pick. I think I could see them getting for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would like him as a number 3 or something for us. But Allen Robinson's going. I'm going to be looking for a trade as well. I've seen that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of free agents available. A lot of older guys as well, but a lot of younger guys. The 25-year-old star safety and C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, hitting the market.
That hurts, man.
That does.
He's phenomenal. He's a good player. Any team would want him. He just talks a lot of shit. But it's good. It's funny, man.
Love it.
He's in the middle of a field playing the guitar in a playoff game. But the guy's fun, man. The guy is such a good player.
Passionate.
Mm-hmm.
Hits hard.
I love him.
Yeah.
You need passionate players.
Somebody's gonna get a good safety. I wish it was us, but
yeah,
he's gonna be one of the best safeties in the league in the next couple of years, I think.
Yeah, we won't spend too much time on it, but the draft's coming up. We do look to eventually get into a draft show or whatnot because we're still in March. You're gonna get some good quarterbacks going through. You got like Bryce Young, you got Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, and interestingly enough, I wanted to bring this up real quick before we get off. Interesting enough. Anthony Richardson's coming out of Florida, one of those raw prospects. You probably heard a lot from him in the media.
Right.
The dude's a boom or bust kind of player. Right.
A lot of upside.
Yeah, a lot of upside, and then there's some decent downside. There's a super high ceiling, very low floor. Right.
Right.
I've seen a recent projections where instead of the Colts trading up to number 1, like the Shane Steichen, obviously they want to get their franchise guy. If you trade up to number 1, everyone thinks the Colts are going to pick Bryce Young.
Yeah.
This star from Alabama who's been in the media's eyes for years now. Great kid, just awesome kid. Recent mock drafts have
dream for teams.
Anthony Richardson, who's used to be projected going 15th, now going number 1 to the Colts. That just kind of I don't know. I think the combine has too much effect on what people think of prospects. I understand they're super athletic, super cool, good in the combine. That's not a football game.
It's not an athletic competition. It's not just like how fast are you. It's a football game.
It's a football game.
Sometimes it does hold a little too much weight. I do, but a lot of them are thinking, a kid with all these intangibles, and we can coach the rest.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are believing in themselves.
And look at Shane Steichen and Jalen Hurts. I could see that.
Right.
But like when you're coming into a head coaching job at a team that needs a rebuild bad, that needs a quarterback, you're not going to be like, let's take the gamble. Personally, I wouldn't be like, let's take the gamble. I'm like, let's get the kid who's probably going to go out there and be a day 1 starter, day 1 leader, and people are going to get behind him.
I kind of
take the kid from Alabama.
Go with the sure thing. Like we're very confident that this kid is we know we're
coached by Nick Saban for multiple years.
High praise.
Actually, I know when I was growing up, he played a pretty good game in New Jersey before, and it was like so much hype. Like the kids have hype forever.
Right.
It's just a phenomenal. So that's really interesting. I do want to keep updated on that because the draft's going to be awesome, and I'm just excited. There's so much good
fight
sport.
Night coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for it. We'll talk about
a couple days.
We'll talk about the main event real quick because we do want to do a little bit of a show for it. Peter Yan versus Merab. I'm not even going to try the last.
Not even going to attempt.
But Merab's a dog.
The Babshi or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's a big fight. I mean, this is a fight that Yan kind of has to win.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's coming off with losses.
Yeah. Some versus. I mean, we'll talk more about it in the next one, but that's going to be an interesting fight. I'm excited for that card. That's on a fight night too.
From what I've known, what you're going to see a very aggressive Yan, very boxing Yan who boxes very well.
Style.
And then you're going to see a super aggressive wrestler that's going to make this fight unpleasing, kind of. Like not to,
right.
But
well, Jan's whole premise on this was he's calling for this fight, and he thinks that Merab's not going to be able to hold him down, and he's just confident. So,
yeah, which, I mean, Jan does have a little bit of weak point with some grappling, unfortunately. So this could be a good matchup for Merab. Merab also has a pretty dangerous right hand. He does get some good shots on people. But I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think the aggressive wrestling style versus the aggressive boxing style is just something to watch. Like,
oh, it's going to be fun.
I bet you whose style is going to prevail. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be a bloody fight.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
really do.
Definitely. Oh, everything with Jan. Remember the Sandhagen fight? Like, it's awesome. I love watching Jan.
He's such a great fighter.
That's so interesting, though. That
Muay Thai
bantamweight
style.
division's-
He hits with such power, too.
Yeah.
Those body kicks.
The bantamweight division is just insane, dude.
It's stacked right now. That's a fun one to watch.
Because O'Malley gets a title shot soon, but then we have, with the next title, what we have, Henry
Right.
Cejudo.
And I think O'Malley's probably the backup for one of them.
Yeah, I wish O'Malley would have got it, but Henry's, he's a great fighter, Olympic wrestler. He's deserving.
Should have been O'Malley.
Yeah, no bias or anything.
Should have been Sugar.
But yeah, guys, we will have a show out for the UFC Vegas Fight Night. It's not called. It's literally just called UFC Fight Night Vegas. Great, going to be some great fight. We won't go as in depth as we did for 285, but definitely want to talk about it.
Right.
Got some good prelims I want to bring up when we do the show. But yeah, we got some good content coming out in the next few days. We have some a video coming out on the Eagles. We're gonna have more because listen, the news is gonna be popping out for free agency and the draft. We'll be here with you guys throughout the whole entire thing. So stay tuned. Put that post notification bell on. Drew, you got anything else?
Nah, man, it's been fun.
It's
Having
been a great
good time. There's a lot of good stuff coming up and a lot of good stuff happening already.
Yeah, but what are you doing tomorrow?
I'll probably be working.
Working. The day after that?
Yeah, work.
Yeah, working. But nonetheless, we'll be back on soon, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace out.
Cheers.